are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And it looks like Titanic Records is crumbling. Even though their biggest artist on Titanic Records, when we're talking about female rap, okay, only in the female rap department, is dropping an album. Now, it has been reported that Titanic's promotion department, basically all 4 veteran executives were cut and fired. Okay, now, as we know, Titanic Records was firing a lot of people last year. One major person who was, the CEO of Titanic Records, Julie Greenwald, who was sabotaging Nicki Minaj. Now, why are they cutting all these people? Well, they are trying to cut $300 million out of their budget. And then on top of that, most of the artists on Titanic Records that do have a budget, they're not putting up the sales, okay? And one of them is Cardi B. Let's just be honest, okay? Cardi B is not really doing huge numbers like that, okay, in the last 7 to 8 years. Now, I do think her next album will do 100K first week, 150,000 first week. But when we're talking about hit songs, I definitely don't think that Cardi B in the last 7 years, the last 8 years, had a lot of hit songs. She had WAP, Up, okay? Those were her songs. We're not talking about features. And with that being said, even the recent song she put out, Downside, is not a hit song. That's why it came and went. And I also think that Titanic Records basically has given up on sabotaging Nicki Minaj, okay? I think Devil Nation probably has it covered when it comes to the sabotaging. I think Titanic Records has given up on having Cardi B replace Nicki Minaj because she just don't have the fan base and she definitely don't have the catalog. Now, Cardi B did clap back at the fans who have said that she only sampled Camel Face to get back at Nicki Minaj, which I definitely believe. She posted a screenshot of her working on Imaginary Players since November of 2024 and August of 2024. Okay, so she's been working on this song for years, so basically it's old. Here's my thing, Cardi B. This does not make you look good that you put out an old song. I hope you know that. Also, Camel Face been sabotaging Nicki Minaj. So it doesn't negate the fact that he only allowed you to sample it because he knows you and Nicki have issues. This goes back to my theory about Cardi B being one of the dumbest industry puppets in the world. It's like she can't even tell when she's being used. That's one of the reasons why Off the Cheat was, able to get away with cheating on her for so long, because she's really one of the dumbest people ever on earth. Now, it looks like fans are saying that Cardi B is sneak dissing Doja Cat, okay? In a tweet and a delete, she said they didn't want a pop song neither, okay? So a lot of fans feel like she is dissing Doja Cat because Doja Cat is dropping next week. Her pop song called Jealous Type. Now, here's my thing. I don't think Cardi B is dumb enough to go after Doja Cat. Okay? You can't even go back and forth with Megan. I don't even think you could handle a Spice or a scratch off. Even though I think Doja Cat is a punk, I don't think Doja Cat would ever openly admit that she don't really fuck with a lot of these female rappers. I think that this tweet gotta be fake. Ain't no way she sneak dissing Doja Cat because Doja Cat is dropping a song. Like, girl, sit down. This can't be real. This gotta be fake. I don't believe it at all because it just doesn't logically make sense. So you drop, nobody else can drop. Are you gonna say something to the chart obsessed racist? She announced her album the same day you announced your single. With the sample of Camel Face. I bet you won't go after the Queen of Pop. I bet you won't go after Taylor. You know who to try. So I just don't believe that she would really tweet this. Maybe somebody hacked her account. I actually think it's probably Botch Kim Barbie who probably hacked her account and tweeted this and deleted it. I just don't believe Cardi B is dumb enough to tweet something like this. I know she's not the brightest apple on the tree, but I just highly doubt that she's this delusional that she thinks that because she dropped, nobody else is supposed to drop. I don't think she thinks that. Okay? Because it's never been like that ever for you, Cardi B, where you drop and then nobody else wants to drop. Okay? You are not Beyonce. You are not the chart-obsessed racist. Bitch, you not even Sabrina Carpenter. You need to pipe down before you get wiped down. Now, Cardi B did a listening party with Apple Music for her new album.
An announcement to make tomorrow. I have like a little listening party, I think with Apple Music this week. Tomorrow I'm going to make an announcement, and I'll make another announcement tomorrow too.
So, a lot of fans were upset that one of the hosts on the Apple Music show with Ebro was basically not happy that Cardi B is sampling Camel Toe. He's a big Camel Toe fan, and he posted a meme basically upset that Camel Toe allowed Cardi B to sample his iconic record, Imaginary Players. And now fans, Cardi B fans are threatening to boycott Apple Music, okay? Let me know how y'all feel about it. I mean, I don't know if Cardi B's gonna do the song justice. That's the thing. I think, like I said, Camel Face knows Cardi B's not a lyricist. He did this strategically to get underneath Nicki Minaj's skin. I think that's the only reason why he cleared the record. He was like, listen, I'm so tired of this hoe talking about me. Mind you, she was throwing shade at Camel Toe last year. It's not like she just recently started shading him. She shaded him last year when he announced, when the NFL announced that Kung Fu Kenny was going to be the headliner for the Super Bowl. That was last year when they announced it, and she was throwing shade. So Camel Toe Ben had issues with Nicki Minaj. Now moving on to Queen B. Queen B makes history. Queen B has won an Emmy Award for outstanding costumes for variety, nonfiction, or reality programming for her Queen B Bowl special. This is her first Emmy win, making her halfway through the EGOT status. So let me know how y'all feel about this. I think Queen B should have been had an Emmy from when she did, what was the documentary? Oh, the Coachella. The Beachella documentary. She should have won an Emmy. Let's be very clear. Now, thanks to Camel Face, Queen B is finally getting the award she deserves. She got Album of the Year, okay, earlier this year, and now she getting her Emmy. She finna win an Oscar next year. Okay, and I'm sure she'll find a way. Her and Camel Face will find a way to win a Tony. Finally, Queen B is getting the credit that she deserves. And I think that she should have been won it when she won or when she did Beachella. Okay, so finally she's getting what she deserves, and hopefully she wins an Oscar next, because the Oscars also have been snubbing Queen B. Every time she submits her music over there, they snub her for Billie Eilish. So hopefully next time that won't happen. Now, moving on from that, a lot of people are calling out Tyla. There was a man allegedly on TikTok saying Tyla only sold 3,000 copies for her little EP because she disrespected Black Americans, and that's why she didn't blow up. But fans are saying, well, how comes Normani, Coco Jones, Victoria Monet, and Beyoncé have not blown up either? Do they have the support of Black Americans? Okay, so that is the debate that's been going on social media. And I'm here to tell you, no, they don't have the support of Black Americans. That's why they flop it. And the answer is no. Black Americans do not support Normani, Coco Jones, Victoria Monet, and Beyoncé. Let's be very clear. Okay? And you know how I know they don't support them? When Chloe Bailey releases music, she gets a lot of hate more than she gets love. Let's be very clear. Normani's inconsistent, so Normani shouldn't even be in the conversation. This bitch took like 1,000 years to put out one album, and the album wasn't even that great. Okay, let's be very clear. But Beyoncé constantly puts out music and she don't get the support. And I'll be honest with you, Beyoncé, her music is trash. I think the only black female R&B artist that deserves support constantly is Coco Jones, SZA, and Victoria Monet. Okay? I think, they constantly put out bangers. Okay? Ari Lennox, a chop. She complains more than she puts out music. So she's not in the conversation. Sorry. But I think Coco Jones, she constantly puts out bops. Victoria Monet, I don't even think she put out music right now. And then also SZA constantly puts out bops. They deserve support from Black Americans. But in regards to Coco Jones and Victoria Monet, I think when you don't have a personality, people tend to not want to buy your music. I think also people like when the artists are, I would say, more visible on social media and stuff. Victoria Monet, she don't really interact with her fans like that. Same thing with Coco Jones. Only when they're putting out music. But other than that, people like influencers now. You got to have like an internet personality like Cardi B to get support from the general public. Now, moving on from that, it has been reported that UMG Recordings had provided Champagne Thickum's legal team with Kung Fu Kenny's 22-page recording contract. However, UMG Recordings provided it with most of the information redacted and unreadable. Champagne Thickum's legal team plans to request that the court order UMG to produce the version of the contract without any redactions. From there, Champagne Thickum's attorneys will file the contract under seal. But that's not all. Champagne Thickum's attorneys also want Kung Fu Kenny to take a DNA test and prove that Dave Free is not the father of one of his children. Okay, because I believe in Family Matters, he basically said that one of Kung Fu Kenny's children were Dave Free's, okay, and that Whitney was also getting abused by Kung Fu Kenny. So let me know how y'all feel about it. It looks like it's about to get uglier than Cardi B's original face. Okay, it's about to get real ugly up in here. And in my opinion, I just think this really has nothing to do with defamation. I don't know what Kung Fu Kenny's contract has to do with defamation. Now, according to Champagne Thickum's team, they're saying that in Universal contracts, they will suppress another person or another artist's record if, they're dissing a Universal artist. Okay, that's what Champagne Thickums is alluding to. Even though I don't believe that's true, but Champagne Thickums basically said when he was going back and forth with Pusha T, Universal suppressed a lot of Pusha T's diss records from getting played on radio, from getting playlisting. So that's what he's trying to insinuate. With that being said, though, Pusha T was not signed to Universal. So why would they help another artist, okay, or not sabotage another artist that's, not signed to their label? Like, Pusha T has no ties to Universal. The Clips recently signed a deal with Def Jam, and then they got dropped. Universal doesn't care about the Clips. That's why they got dropped from Def Jam. Kung Fu Kenny is a bigger artist than, the Clips and Pusha T will ever be. Pusha T is very lyrical, very talented, but he's never been really a hit maker. He don't have a Luther, All of the Stars, a Humble, a DNA, a Not Like Us. He don't got that in his catalog at all. But with that being said, let me know how y'all feel about this and how do you guys think it's going to end in court. Now, moving on from that, it has been reported that the Queen of Pop, Taylor, will not be working with Jack Antonoff, okay, for her new album, The Life of the Showgirl. A lot of people are speculating the reason why is because they worked together on her last album and she didn't win no Grammys. That's what the streets are saying. Let me know how y'all feel about it. In my opinion, I feel like Jack Antonoff, I don't know what it is about him. Like, I feel like he's like a hit or miss, like most producers and writers, okay? Because I feel like I don't like the songs that he makes with Sabrina Carpenter. And I don't really listen to the chart obsessed racist. The Queen of Pop. That is her new name. I don't listen to the Queen of Pop's new music like that. I haven't really listened to the Queen of Pop since Blank Space, to be quite honest. I just don't resonate with a lot of her music. It feels like she doesn't really grow in her music. Like she sounds like a teenager, every time she puts out a song. Mind you, the chart obsessed race of the Queen of Pop, she is about to be 40. So that's why I don't really listen to her like that. But her not working with Jack Antonoff is not really a big deal. Like, who cares? Now, moving on to Kash Doll. It looks like she has gotten back together with Zardarius, or whatever the guy's name is, the one that she was dating, and, she was like, oh, I'm single 2 days ago. Well, it looks like that might have been a PR stunt, because she posted on X, I love my man. Okay? Here's the thing. And people feel like I was going hard on Kash Doll. The thing is, I feel like Kash Doll, she been in the game for a while now. She been in the game for at least 10 years. At least. I'm being generous. She been in the game for a while now. And it feels as though her relationships are bigger than her music career. Like, you shouldn't be on the Shade Room every time you link up with a man. You should be on the Shade Room because you broke a record or your song is popping. A song going viral on TikTok. That's what you should be, in the blogs for. But that's never the case for you, Trash Doll. I hate to say it. And I just feel as though at her big age, because she is over 40, as much as y'all want to say she's not, that girl is over 40. And I just feel like she needs to act her age. And it feels as though she's like so obsessed with trying to be young and hip. But it just comes off as inauthentic. I want Kash Doll to be the auntie that she really is, and I need her to mature and make some really good music so people could actually buy. Y'all don't buy the music that she has out. So I think she needs to mature in her music and also mature as a person and not always expose every little fling or relationship that you have. Privacy is sometimes the best thing to do, especially if your music ain't selling, because the relationship ain't selling either. But anyway, 20,000 lashes for Kash Doll for this terrible PR stunt. I got some very hot tea on Pamela Anderson, Sydney Sweeney, and Jeff Bezos. Link will be in description. And I hope you guys have a great day.